Hello, and welcome on to episode 5 of the Apprentice Angle. We're really getting through these episodes now, and the series is really starting to gather some sort of momentum as we head into May and the start of the Apprentice Jockeys Championship, which I can't wait for. We're slowly building up to it week by week throughout April, rolling into the first week in May. And once it gets going, I can't wait to cover it. It's going to be really good. The flat season so far started very, very well for the Apprentice Jockeys, and I can't wait until the start of May when the season gets going. Now it's great to have the flat back. I felt the flat has really got going this week. The classic trials, the Craven at Newmarket, the Fred Darling at Newbury alongside the Greenham as well. And the flat's really just slowly starting to roll into some sort of life now. And it's a very nice sort of time of year, really. It's a crossover period between the culmination of the jump season and the start of the flat season proper now. We have Lincoln, and we always have that sort of traditional lull, really, where it takes us a slight stop, really, after the Lincoln to then focus on entry, then air for the Scottish National and Sandown too. But then we kick things off with the Craven meeting in between all of that and then moving into Newbury as well before we go back to next week as well on Friday, the first day of the finale meeting at Sandown as well. And it's a really good time of year, really. And yeah, it's been a fantastic week anyway for the apprentice jockeys too. We're going to kick things off up at Redcar on Monday. A first career winner for Shariq Mohd, who's based with Alice Haynes, and he won very comfortably aboard May Song for Alice Haynes as well. A very comfortable win there and a very good start to Shariq's career. Shariq's had a handful of rides since joining Alice Haynes, was formerly with Sylvester Kirk down in Lambourne, I do believe, before making the move to Newmarket with Alice. And Shariq's a very nice, tidy rider. Agents Ross Burkett, Ross be booking his rides too. And Mason won very comfortably. It was a very nice, polished, tidy ride. And Shariq's definitely a young jockey to note throughout the apprentice only races this season. There could be a few hands and hills races throughout the course of the season and some of the apprentice only handicaps as well on some cards later on in the summer too. He's definitely a young jockey to note, very tidy, very strong as well. And this was a very impressive ride for his first winner. And I'm pretty confident lots of trainers will take note of that. And he's got a very good agent behind him. Ross himself, we mentioned many a time before on this series, has started off the season in very good style with his contingent of young jockeys with Rose Dawes and George Bass starting off very nicely as well to go alongside Shariq and Freddie Larson too. But Shariq's definitely like a jockey to put the red ring around in your notebooks. He's one who I think will have a very good summer this year and ride a couple more winners between now and the end of the season. It was also good to see Adam Farrah back in the winners enclosure at Windsor on Monday, ball Mr. Z for Michael Blake. Adam's been down in Australia recently, helping William Haggs' Australian team with the likes of Dubai Honour, who won down under as well couple of weeks ago. It's good to see Adam back now. Still claiming his £3, a fantastic jockey, and I'm pretty confident that Adam can have a very good season ahead of him as well. Rolling into Wednesday now, with cover Tuesday, a couple of nice wins on Tuesday at Southwell for Gina Mangan and George Bassett again. George has had a very good start to his season, as we covered last week, winning that big 40 grand novice stakes at Nottingham. And Gina herself again's had a good start as well, winning aboard Umming and Ahring for Bill Turner. Umming and Ahring himself just won tonight at Nottingham for Rose Dawes as well, which is fantastic for Rose, who's recently just rode out a £7 claim, now claiming the £5, but that was a fantastic start to that £5 claim as well, with Umming and Ahring going in again for Gina and for Rose Dawes this time around instead of Gina Mangum. And moving into Wednesday as well, Billy Loughnane back in the winners enclosure aboard Aga Panther for Heather Main at Kempton. And we've not spoke about Billy for a couple of weeks now. Didn't cover him in last week's episode, but he's back amongst winners this week now as well. And he'll be rocking and rolling. And his first group ride this weekend as well at Newbury in the Fred Darling too. So to have his first Group 3 ride already at this stage of his career, it's testament to his ability and it's testament to the giant leaps forward he's made since starting this riding career at the back end of 2022. He's had a really good start to his year and he thoroughly deserved that ride in the Group 3 today for Peter Chapel Hyam. It was a good week for Ryan Sexton too. A couple of nice winners at Ripon for his boss Adrian Keatley, and also a very nice rideable Badgery at Beverley on Wednesday too. Swooped down the outside and one going away too. It was a really nice ride off the back of a very decent pace too. And Ryan's now still claiming his £3. Had a good season last year, as we mentioned in episode 1. Hit the half-century mark for the entire calendar year and finished third in the Apprentice Jockeys Championship. He's one to note again going forward this season. He's got a good book of contacts behind him. Adrian Keatley will push him further forward too as well. Adrian's been a very good supporter of Ryan since they both moved across from Ireland, and Ryan had a very good week this week with two nice winners. It was also good to see Paul Lemure take the last at Beverley the same day on Wednesday as well. Called Velma. Scooby-Doo fans will probably back that one too. And Velma came from last to first to win quite comfortably. Paula herself still claiming the £3, and it was good to see Chris Fairhurst put her up. She's more than capable on a more than capable jockey, and it was good to see her get a nice there as well. Now, moving into Thursday, it was a very good day at Chelmsford on Thursday evening for the apprentice jockeys here. Quite a few talking points to cover. So we're going to start by talking about a massive shock, actually, in the Class 3 handicap. It went the way of a Aidan Keeley aboard Priscilla's Wish at 66 to 1. Now, it was a massive shock, to be honest. You would not have seen Priscilla's Wish the likely winner of this race on paper anyway. Her form was nowhere near the required stands to win a race of this calibre. But credit to Aidan, it was a very good strong ride, coming through the pack late on to win quite comfortably. It's a welcome win for Charlie McBride too, and also for Aidan as well, who started off the season in very good style since moving to Roger Varians over the course of last winter. And had a decent ride during the week as well, up in the big mile handicap for Roger Varian and also King Power Racing too as well. So it's been a good start to Aidan's Seen horse. And I was actually at Frost last when he won at a huge price of 150 to 1 at the back end of the summer. And he's gone and won quite comfortably at Newmarket in the opening handicap here for Benoit de la Sayette and Ismail Mohammed, a horse who showed lots of promise in behind. I think it was Blackbeard in the Middle Park Stakes at the back end of last season in October, only finishing 3 lengths behind him that day. It was rock solid Group 1 form. That's been transitioned to here. And once more, for ran out a very comfortable winner here. I think Ishmael holds was said after the race that he thinks this horse can make into July Cup horse too, over 6 furlongs on the July course. Could be one to note going forward here. Come from off the pace too market, which added a little bit more value to his performance too. So he's definitely a horse to track going forward. And it ran out a very impressive win for Benoit, who's, as we've covered many times this week as well, started off the campaign in very, very good style. Now, looking ahead to the rest of Chelmsford here, Sahek was a very impressive winner for Mia Nicholls and her dad Adrian. Mia, as a jockey, who's been going very well in the weather over the course of the winter, was seen to good effect aboard Bassinet 3 times as well for Eve Johnson Horton, her boss. And Mia's been going along quite nicely on the winter throughout the weather series as well. And she's a nice young jockey. She rides very nicely as well. And I expect her to kick on for a one to watch in terms of apprentice races this season as well. Very prominent rider, and Sarhet was a very willing partner for her on the night at Chelmsford too. And it was good to see Conor Panis back in the Windsor Enclosure 2 on Thursday, back in the Windsor Enclosure again aboard Cedar Cage. He won last time out as well, back on board him again at Chelmsford on Thursday evening, and the pair won pretty comfortably in as well. Nice ride up the inside rail, a strong ride too, and it was good to see George back in the Windsor Enclosure as well. And finally now to round off on Saturday, Harry Burns took the opening apprentice handicap at Notting on Saturday evening aboard Rajameister Active Winter, still claiming his £3 and is a very good jockey to watch going forward. And finally, we mentioned about Rose Dawes winning aboard Umming and Ahring. That was a very nice performance as well from her, and Rose having a good start to her season too. But we'll just cover a little bit more about Mia Nicholls to wrap things up. She's definitely a jockey to know, and it was a very good ride. She sprung to prominence through a combination really of very enthusiastic interviews. And from a racing point of view, if we can bottle that enthusiasm and even try to sell it, it'll be a fantastic selling point for racing. See a young jockey speak so passionately about her riding, but not only speak about it passionately, it can only take you so far, but a bright future ahead of her. That was the Apprentice Angle episode 5. If you did enjoy it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new as well, and we'll see you all next week.